Good morning. That's French for a change. They're Carthusian monks and they pray in Latin, which is what I normally fire up with. But they read the Bible in Latin. I just wanted to get to this. I don't want that. Advertising botheration. Sorry. I do apologise. Go away, advertising. I don't want advertising. This chap. Right. This is St. Jerome. Who was known for translating the Bible from the original Greek, I think, rather than the Vulgate, the Latin. His dates are sort of 345, 420 or something. He died at the age of 75 after Christ. That's Anno Domini AD. Just came to mind. It's rather a lovely painting by Vincenzo Calema. Italian. Right, the instant I heard it, my spirit said, injustice rules KO. So it's just come through on the news. Now it's early morning, Tuesday the 18th of November 2025. Just this evening, the United Nations unanimously passed a resolution saying Palestinians are stuffed. Oh no, they didn't say quite that. But basically that's what they've said, which therefore makes the United Nations complicit in genocide, ethnic cleansing, crimes against humanity. Whilst Israel seemingly is angling to get away with its genocide, ethnic cleansing, and crimes against humanity for the last 80 years, isn't it? 1948, they got back into the Holy Land. God's chosen people are not to return to the Holy Land until the second coming of Christ. Listen to Rabbi David Weiss of Neturei Carter. He explains it far better than I. St. Jerome. I have a little cutting from a newspaper, that's all it was, which I've taken a picture, but he was guarding Psalm 46 verse 10 I've got all my Bibles out. It's Psalm 46 verse 10, which says, "Be still and know that I am God." So little mankind may get away with it for a while, but they're going to put in charge, potentially, the war criminal who has never been convicted, the former Prime Minister of Britain, Mr. Tony Blair. The awful little man in America, it seems to be lining up that he was, going with young girls too, quite frankly. That appears to be the long and the short of it. And he's done everything he can to avoid these Epstein files coming out. And there's still a trick up his sleeve to prevent them coming out. He said, let them come out, but there's a trick somewhere. His peace plan, what absolute rubbish. There's still 7 million plus Palestinian souls in the Holy Land. Israel is secretly deporting them to South Africa and probably elsewhere, offering them a few bob and saying bog off. You cannot go against God. You're a fool if you try. Netanyahu seems to be, oh, he's cruising. Yeah. It'll catch up with you boys. The former First Minister of Bangladesh has been convicted in absentia for her crimes. She's hiding in India. Trade relations and stuff, India actually won't release her. I mean, it's just a rubbish world that one lives in. Truth is out of the window. Honest, good and true was how I was brought up. May I be a friend of that which is eternal and abides, certainly. An honest man has no superior. That was how my mother particularly, it just makes a laughingstock of the whole business. Vietnam, I watched this chap, Noam Chomsky. He's a philosopher, Jewish though. Parents survived the Holocaust and stuff. Going through every president of the United States of America since the Second World War, detailing their crimes against humanity. Well, it just is so glaringly obvious. They've got the big stick at the moment. America, they think they're the big cheese. Virtually all of the feeds I'm getting on YouTube, because I suppose I've looked into it, are denigrating the current setup in America with the current president, whose name I absolutely insist upon not saying. Awful little man. But they were all voting him back into power, as did Mr. Tony Blair got voted back into power, as did Mr. George W. Bush in my lifetime. The second war in Iraq, absolutely no weapons of mass destruction. Britain, England, had the Chilcot inquiry. Oh, please. Whitewash or not. Any just situation would have had Mr. Tony Blair in jail and all the ministers around him. Specifically, Jack Straw comes to mind. Was the Foreign Secretary or the Home Secretary, one of the two. I think he's possibly been both. Had been both, I'm not sure. I mean, it's just... It merely puts off the inevitable consequences of this is one injustice in the world, the Holy Land. For me, it's where Christ lived. It's to do with his chosen people, the Jews, the Hebrews, the Israelites. Those are the Old Testament. I'm referring to them in that manner as the Old Testament, God's chosen people. The three Abrahamic faiths, obviously Jews, Christians, Muslims. So 2,000 years before Christ is Abraham. But there were Canaanite people who were of Semitic origins going back 11,000 plus years from today, so 9,500 years before Christ, in between the Tigris Euphrates, which is now Iraq, right across to the in the west, the River Nile in Egypt, chunks of Saudi Arabia, northern Saudi Arabia, and so on and so on. It's just the world carving up the map to suit itself, and never mind the people involved, quite frankly. Right, that's it. That's in my soul instantly. the instant I heard. Amen. I wanted to get on to my old Gregorian chant, actually. I don't like what I consider a shouty film. Me ranting away. Rant, rant, rant. Come on, chaps. You're still in French. I speak French too, so I just like French. It sounds nice. It's musical. Go on. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, sorry. There we go. I love the old Latin too. Oops, my little friends. I just find it beautiful. Cheerio!